things. So let's start at the beginning. This is the Two of Swords, and this does feel like you are hesitating on making a decision. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I move? But it does look like it's quite a large decision, whether it has to do with interpersonal things or your professional life or your relationship space. But it does look like you're kind of holding off making a decision. You may have be kind of festering a little bit instead of making this decision and looking at it honestly. This blindfold is lighting up for me. So pull that blindfold off. Look at all of the situations, all of the directions, and all of the possibilities before making this decision. But it does look like you're a little constipated in making this decision, a little protective of your heart. So it may have to do with the heart space, the love space. All right, what crosses you is the Page of Wands. And again, pages, they are really about messages. And this Page of Wands, that's about motion. It's an important message concerning your current situation. So it is crossing you. So you may be getting more information than you need. It's usually about work or a social situation. So it does look like you're collecting more and more information. You may be getting confusing information. So use your best intuition. You will know the right direction for you. But I encourage you to make a step into some direction. Doing nothing sometimes is a choice all on its own. So make a decision that benefits you. All right, Temperance, finding your balance. It does look like you may have been a little topsy-turvy over the last couple of months, either trying to make this decision, completing something, ending something, moving into the next phase of your life is what it feels like. You could be retiring, you could be changing a job, having a child. So this does look like it is a large shift in the energy, and it does feel like you're a little nervous about making a decision, but it's better that you make a decision than not make anything, and the situation makes a decision for you. Doing nothing, I said, is a decision all on its own. So it does look like you're getting more and more into balance. You may have too much information and getting a little confused. So follow the road that feels most comfortable for you in finding your balance. It does look like this was spurred on by a little anger. So there may have been an abruptness to either a job, a relationship, an idea, or an adventure. It may have come to an abrupt stop, and now you're restarting this creative endeavor or this motion again. The Queen of Swords here. Now, Queens of Swords, they're all about communication and intellect. If this is a person, this would be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It does feel like this is a person that had something to do with this decision stopping right before fruition. So it does look like it's something in the past that has been resolved. So there may have been somebody that kind of put some negative spin on what you were trying to do, or maybe it gave you too much information and that kind of stalled the decision process for you. But the Queen of Swords, she's all about communication. She's all about moving forward. She can also be a little biting with her tongue. So use your intuition. She's creative, but it's really about being intellectually keen and using intellectual communication. So some more adjustments may be made if there is a contract that you're signing. So follow all of your intuitions, check out everything, and make sure it benefits you as much as it does the other person. But it may be signing a contract, making a deal, starting a job, starting a relationship. Doesn't feel so much like a relationship, although it does feel like your relationship has something to do with the decision that it may affect your relationship as well. So moving on, this is the Seven of Cups, and cups are all about the feels, all about feeling things. So it does look like you may have had some aspirations, may have had some dreams that you were trying to make happen. It does feel like there was a little cog in the wheel, there was a little stick in the wheel that things came to an abrupt ending, and it may be that sometimes this is the card for looking at things with rose-colored glasses and not really looking at all the warnings. So this does feel like you were able to see some of those things, maybe even stop it before this happened, or you the process skidded to a halt. But it does feel like it's time to either redo bucket list or perfect that vision that you had. But it does feel like some new reality check is what it feels like, a reality check. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. So if this project didn't go along smoothly, then it does feel like others may have had their hand in the pie in it that was not not productive for you. But it does, this card kind of tells you, pull off the rose-colored glasses, look at things how they really are before you make a decision. The King of Pentacles is here. This can be you. If it is another earth sign, that would be a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. And kings are here to really remind us to take the high roads in situations. So you may be coming to a moral dilemma. This is a pentacle, so usually pentacles are earthly things. This can be money. This can be a decision about your money, but it's usually about courage and looking at your wealth, worldly power, and success. So it does look like if you get all this situation under control, really start being productive and moving forward to your best benefit, that there will be success on the horizon. This does feel more like you, Virgo. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a male body, but it does feel like you taking the high road in a decision. There may be somebody talking in your ear. I'm feeling like it's this Queen of Swords talking in your ear to do this, do that, do this, do that. But you need to follow your intuition and go forward in your best interest, not just for the best interest of the people that are kind of bugging you and pushing you. But it does feel you need to make a step forward to make this start happening. Get out of the thinking space, put some motion behind it, and you'll be able to see a little clearer which direction will be more conducive to you. You can always start one direction, turn around, and go back the other one. So, but doing nothing looks like it would be a problem in this, which looks like what has been the problem is kind of holding off a little bit and not making any decisions. So don't listen to too many people over your own intuition is the message I'm getting here. It does look like this problem has caused a little sleep deprivation. It may have affected your stomach. It may have affected your spine. You may be out of adjustment is what I'm feeling. But this stress has really kind of put a grapple hold on your everyday things, eating, sleeping. You know, it looks like stomach problems, could even be headache from sorrow type of thing. But it does look like there is so much in your head that you cannot find a peaceful place. Now, this may have something that maybe something that just passed because it is on the bottom of here, but it does feel like stress release. Even doing some physical exercise may really help you to move this energy past, so you'll be able to eat and sleep, but it's really bothering your creature comforts, it looks like. It does feel like some fears are kicking up because this is a big endeavor. Could be involving moving, maybe even moving across the country or to a different country. But it does feel like it's a very grand type of decision. So what is here in the next position is the Four of Cups are also about feelings. It does look like there's some disappointment, some decision that had been made in the past didn't come through. As I said, everything happens for a reason. So if it didn't come through, there's something much better in store for you, and it's right in front of you. But it does feel like you're kind of locked into this sorrow, maybe even regret from the past. But there's something right in front of you, so pay attention to the present time more. It does feel like the sorrow, you know, sorrow is from the past. Anxiety is when you focus too much on the future. So try to stay as present as possible, Virgo, and you'll be able to meet and match this challenge as you move forward. There is some fears coming up with this change. This is what I call the old, broke, and alone. This is a 5, so it's just fears. It does look like it has to do with money, and it may have to do with relationship. You may be looking at going it alone. or changing some dynamics within a relationship, but it does feel very fearful. It does feel like the money is all mixed in here and it's causing you a little bit of fear and anxiety. Of course, it is only fear. Fear only has enough power as you give it. So you can abolish it just as easily as you can welcome it in. So I encourage you to keep that mindset very present and move forward in this decision. What is the main card here is the Page of Swords. You know, swords are about intellect. Pages are about messages. It does feel like you will be getting some messages, this news about the problems or the difficulties, maybe the troubles you're having. It can be troubles relating to a child or someone's child. It doesn't necessarily mean is a small child. You could be in a relationship with someone that has grown children. But it does feel like there is a little bit of like kind of communication, a little salty communication. This may be coming from a child of someone you're either involved with. This may be your own child, but it does feel like a little salty communication and a little bit biting. So watch your tongue when it comes to your part of the communication. But this Page of Swords most likely would be an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Because it is a page, it doesn't necessarily mean a child. It can be, someone over 18 if they're very childlike or they're very dependent on you or your partner. So it does look like that some of the major discontent is coming from either someone else's child or your child. Or someone very childlike that is not making good decisions. So the moon is on one side. And this is for clarity of this Page of Swords. It does feel the moon is kind of the intrinsic and how we feel. And it does feel like you haven't had much permission to speak your truth about what is inside. So this may be someone that is not related to you, but it is related to either a partner or someone in your life. Because it doesn't feel like you have grant permission to speak your truth about this, to kind of break that tumultuous connection. But it does feel like it affects you greatly. It may affect your money, it may affect your time, and it may affect your positive outpouring. But the moon is basically where you take things from the inside and project them into the outside. I would encourage you to kind of leave this child thing alone and to focus on your own creations. The moon is there to remind you to focus on your own creations. Take what is inside yourself and project it into the world. You are very humanitarian, Virgo. You are one of the most loving and humanitarian signs, and you kind of look at everything, look at the big picture. So I would encourage you to make that picture a little smaller, give to yourself, make some of these decisions that have been hanging in the balance, and things will work out a little bit better, it feels, if you get some forward motion in there. The other side is clarities. This is a Six of Cups. This is usually communication from the past. This is usually someone that you loved or someone that was in your heart. It can be a family member. It could be a past. It could be an ex. That's communicating someone from high school, but it does feel like that it's more positive and that you need some kind of positive love flow in your space these days. But it does feel like some ideas that you had from the past or connections that you had from the past will be revisited in the month of September.